We're holding Ois Gimel, the third Ois. So the Rebbe starts off, Ulahavin, Shaychis HaAvodah, we have to understand the connection of this Avodah, this service of Hashem, the Shtus Tekdusha, the folly, the insanity, which is in a good way, as we've been speaking about until now. We have to connect that to the general idea of making a dwelling place for Hashem down here. Meaning, until now we've been explaining that the reason why we have to have this folly or this insanity of holiness is because we have the folly and insanity within us, and usually it will come out in the wrong way. Therefore, it's necessary to channel that energy into a proper purpose. But since the ultimate purpose of everything in this world, the entire creation, is to make a dwelling place for Hashem down here, what's called a diru b'tachtonim, so obviously everything that's in this world, including this idea of taking the insanity and the folly that we have within us and using it for the proper purpose, somehow that has to be tied into the general plan of making a dwelling place for Hashem down here in this world. So the Rebbe is asking, what is the connection between these ideas, the insanity and the folly, using it for the right way, to making a dwelling place, a home for Hashem? To explain this, he quotes another piece from the Maimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe. Ubir de Inyan Hu, says the Frierdiker Rebbe. The Rebbe is quoting the Frierdiker Rebbe to explain this. Dihine Oirein Seif Hariles Machshava Tfisa Beklal. When it comes to Oirein Seif, Hashem's essence, it says no thought can grasp the Eibishter, can grasp Hashem. V'hulamaylo migeder hasaga. He's higher than the parameters, than the category of grasping. Meaning, it is not only that we don't understand Hashem, but it's more that it's impossible. We're not able to understand Hashem. In order to reach Hashem's essence, is only through nullifying our will, which is higher than understanding, higher than any reasoning. Which that's why this level is called with the name Shtus. So the Rebbe wants to know, what is this, the exact in the wording of the Frierdiker Rebbe, and the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimer. He says not only that we don't understand Hashem, but rather that Hashem isn't even in the category or the parameters of understanding. So the Rebbe says, in order to understand that idea, Hashem is not in the parameters or even the ability to understand, we have to quote a Rambam in Meir Nevuchim. The Rambam in Meir Nevuchim is talking about descriptions of Hashem, but this applies to all descriptions. He says there are two types. One is called Toyarim Chiyuvim, and the other one is called Toyarim Shliliyim. What does that mean? For example, if we say somebody is so smart, he's a chacham, he's wise, and we say he's so smart that this is what he has accomplished, this is what he has done. That is a Toyar Chiyuvi. I'm explaining exactly what he is, how smart he actually is. But then you have a different type of description. You have what's called a Toyar Shlili, that I'm not explaining exactly what he is, because that's not something I can really explain. I'm going to use a word that he's so kind, but I can't really explain his kindness. I'll say something like, he's so kind, he would never do this, and he would never do that. Not that he would, anytime somebody needs something, he's always there to help. That's explaining what he is. But some people are so kind that doesn't do justice to what they are. You have to explain, he will never do this, and never do that, and never do it. He never hurt somebody, never get in somebody else's way. That's called a Toyar Shlili. What it's not what it is, explaining what it's not. Now, even though we are saying that this Toyar Shlili, this idea of a Shlili, what it's not, I can't really understand what it is. It's beyond my comprehension. It's beyond my understanding. Nevertheless, explains the Rambam, that with many times that you keep on explaining what it's not, and what it's not, and what it's not, that gives you some type of idea of what it is. Kind of like the game 20 Questions, where slowly you break down and slowly you get closer and closer to what the final answer is, even though you're not really holding there yet. And this not only applies begashmius and physical things, the same thing is within ruchnistic things, spiritual matters. When we're talking about Hashem, as we slowly break down what he's not and what he's not and what he's not, that gives us some type of understanding of what he is. And that's the idea of what the Rebbe says, what the Frierdiker Rebbe says, that it is called in the category, in the parameters of understanding. Sometimes we actually understand something, and sometimes we don't really understand it, but at least it falls into the category of understanding. It falls into the parameters of understanding. That's this idea of, I kind of get it, even though I don't really know what it is, I have the idea sashlila. So to sum up what we've been learning today, the Rebbe wants to know, what is the connection between this this foolishness, this folly, in a good way, how does that connect to Dira B'Tachtonim, to making a dwelling place for Hashem? And we're understanding that, to be able to understand that question, we are understanding that there are different types of Toyarim understanding, one that I understand what it is, and one that I understand that it's not.